Game Over 86 coming back with another video today on this Monday. Beautiful day, guys. I hope your weekend was good. I hope you guys enjoyed gaming. I hope you guys had fun over the weekend. I know I did. Yes, over the last week, we went over the PlayStation Classic, guys. They announced the rest of the games, exclusives for Japan and exclusives for America and UK regions. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, guys. I know you guys have been waiting on my opinion on it and my thoughts on it. I want to know at the end of the video, guys, if you guys are going to be canceling your pre-orders or if you're going to just pre-order, keep your pre-orders going. If you're going to buy the Japanese edition, let me know at the end of the video. But let's go ahead and get into it, guys, because I know you guys have been waiting for a video on this, and I'm kind of in 50-50 on it, but I'll let you know the reason why. So the PlayStation Classic, guys, is coming, I believe, in December 4th. I believe I think it's December 3rd, December 4th, something like that. Anyway, it's in December. It's $100, $99 US dollars. It comes with two non-analog, obviously, stick controllers. So your original PlayStation 1 controllers is 45% smaller. It has a HDMI port. It uses a USB charging kind of power plug, which you can just plug that into your TV. I'm assuming that's what they're wanting since they didn't give you the plug, obviously. But that's not what everybody's here for. They're here for the game list lineup. And let me just go ahead and put the game list up, guys. So for the UK and the American versions of the PlayStation 1 Classic, you get Battle Arena Toshinden, you get Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, you get Final Fantasy 7, which is a really good game. You get Grand Theft Auto from the top view, the way I learned and played the original Grand Theft Auto. So for everybody out there that hasn't played this Grand Theft Auto, it's really cool. Take kind of like that Retro City Rampage and Hotline Miami, I think is what it's called. And put that together from a top view with shittier graphics, obviously, because Grand Theft Auto back in the day. And that's what you kind of get. You get to drive around, do all that kind of crazy stuff. Anyway, Intelligent Cube is a puzzle kind of making game. It's actually considered a hidden gem from a lot of people that were collectors back in the day. Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid. Really glad that they put that game on here. A lot of people were really hoping that they would put it on here. And me personally, I wanted it on here for the simple fact that if I'm going to get it, they might as well put that game on here. Mr. Driller, kind of a puzzle Tetris-y kind of game. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, really good game. Rayman, they put on there. Old school Rayman. Resident Evil Director's Cut. Revelations Persona, which is a very expensive and hard to find game. So if you want to talk about saving a lot of money there, I think that game alone is like $170 right now. Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbos, another kind of puzzle Tetris, Super Street Fighter, kind of quirky kind of stuff. If you guys have ever played, like, just to kind of give you guys a hint or an idea of a hint, picture like a bunch of the phone games out there with like the wrestling app where you have to like break cubes and Tetris kind of cubes up and you do like moves and stuff. That's what it's kind of in that way. Siphon Filter, a game that I've always wanted to come. I think I was one of the few YouTubers to talk about this in my past videos. Siphon Filter 2 would have probably been my favorite choice, but Siphon Filter nonetheless. Tekken 3, another great game. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms, guys. So yes, that is the United States and the UK's versions of it. Now let me go ahead and talk about what I kind of wish they would have put on there, and then we'll go through the exclusive list, guys. Yeah, I know a lot of people will say, who's this targeting? Is it targeting the collectors? I think it's targeting the collectors in a way just because it's a classic. It's going to target people for if they just want to display it on their shelf, if they want to, have it in the background, plug and play just to have fun for a few hours, maybe a week or two, because a lot of the people that are collectors already have a lot of these games or emulate a lot of these games or so on and so forth. Maybe they just want to build and emulate it when it gets hacked. I'm sure it will, and put a lot of games on there because you can. It'll be inevitable is what I say. So, now that I got all that out of the way, it would have been nice to see Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot. A lot of people say Gran Turismo, which is another good game. and a lot of people are talking about other games out there. A lot of the games that I grew up on were them games. I think on PlayStation 1, the biggest downfall to me, where they were putting the weaker versions of them, in my opinion. And that's, like I said, Siphon Filter, good game, but Siphon Filter 2, in my opinion, was better. You know, I look at these games, and Destruction Derby and Cool Borders 2, you know, it's okay. You know, they do have some really good games on here. It's not a real weak lineup. Revelations Persona is a really good game. Resident Evil, you know, with the controllers, they are a little quirky and stuff, having to, you know, pretty much guide your player through with the D-pad. But when I look at Twisted Metal, you know, Twisted Metal to me, a lot of people say Twisted Metal 2 is the best. I like Twisted Metal 3, personally. And a lot of the games like Rainbow Six is kind of an odd game. And, you know, Ridge Racer Type 4, I would have, you know, took that game. Or even Destruction Derby, I would have took that game and put on a, you know, Gran Turismo. I would have taken, you know, some of these odd, weird games, like Rayman. Rayman's cool and all, but, like, why wouldn't you just put Crash on there or Spyro? And a lot of people are going to say Game Over 86. They got the game coming. They have this, you know, there's licensing issues and all this other stuff, which is fine. I get that's probably why they didn't do it. And they don't want to pull from their, you know, you know, picking bags of when people right now are buying a bunch of Crash Bandicoots. I don't think they did it for the two reasons. They're already selling them like crazy on Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation 4. They got the upcoming Spyro trilogy, and it's not even Sony, but they have that coming out for the every console. So when you look at that, that's number one. The other two is they don't want to deteriorate. They don't want to, you know, persuade other people to not buy it by looking to see how great the upscale or remastered versions are, whether it be Crash Insanity or whether it be Spyro Reignited trilogy. So when they look at that, I can see why them two games are on there. But when I look at some of the games, I really do like most of the list, except for a few games. Like I said, Intelligent Cube, like I said, I would have put other games on there that were cool, puzzle, quirky games. There was a bunch of them on there. But a lot of the originals, where's Tomb Raider 2, or Tomb Raider at least? You know, some of the games just kind of make me go, what were you thinking? And then, when I start to realize and I look outside the box, I don't think that they're actually targeting an audience, whether it be collectors or whether it be hardcore gamers. I think they're targeting more of the people that used to play console gaming, that are maybe like 40, 50 years old, maybe when they were young, you know, in their 20s, or maybe their 30s when they were gaming hard or something back in the era. You know, the Atari people that grew up in that era where they kind of grew up with the PlayStation, and then they were like, you know what, I'm done. Maybe they're targeting them. In my opinion, I think they are. They're targeting that, and I hate to say this word, but I kind of like using this word, casuals. People that are going to casually plug in and play and don't want to have to worry about modding it or going to the store and collecting or buying all these games. A lot of the people that played Crash, people that say, oh, Crash or where's Spyro? Listen, I want to say one thing, because a lot of people won't say this. Crash Bandicoot was more popular than Spyro. Not a lot of people bought Spyro. Fact. That's why they're so damn expensive on eBay and all this other shit. 1 through 3, they weren't like looked at like Crash 1, 2, and 3 Warped or whatever were looked at. They just weren't. They weren't advertised as big. So when I see that, it's night and day difference. That's one reason. So when everybody says, "Oh, Spyro should be on here," yeah, I agree, Spyro should, but don't put them in the same like level as Crash, because it really wasn't. They never really sold that well. And now, to get to that point of why I said there's certain games on here and there's certain games not on here, here are your exclusives that you get. And I hate when this thing always pops up on my computer over here. Here are the exclusives you get. You get from the PlayStation, if you're in the Western states, you know, West America. Yeah, you heard it first. If you're from West America, let me tell you. If you're from the, you know, United States or UK and whatnot, you will get, in your version of the PlayStation 1 Classic, you will get Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, obviously Grand Theft Auto. We already went through this. Odyssey, Abe's Odyssey, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Siphon Filter, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, and Twisted Metal. But if you get the Japanese version, which will probably all be in Japanese, so if you can speak Japanese, go do it. Go buy it. If you can, you know, dink with it and hack with it, like I'm sure some people will. I'm sure you could, get you a thing on there that translates it to it. Maybe they have it like that. I don't know. But more than likely, they're going to end up hacking it anyway and opening this thing up to where you can just pretty much get whatever game you want. Now, I just want to go over this. People say, oh, man, Arc the Lad 1 and 2, you got Armored Core, you got Gradius Gaiden, you got 11, Asai, whatever you want to call it, Saga Frontier, G Darius, and Parasite Eve. I own Parasite Eve too. I don't have Parasite Eve. That would have been kind of cool to get. Now, I do own some of these games that are exclusively on Japan in my PlayStation 1 collection. Now, I did make a video on Twitter to where I pretty much was just cracking a joke as some of the people are bummed out about this. I get it. The collectors are kind of like, why couldn't it have this game? Why couldn't it have that game? They're not targeting the collectors, kind of like Nintendo Classic. Say what you want. They weren't, at first when they made the NES Classic Mini, they weren't trying to target collectors. They were trying to target people that grew up playing just that console maybe, or the Super NES. And they literally, they put a great list on there, but they were targeting people that were just wanting to play them games. They weren't targeting hardcore gamers, because even in that list, you didn't have Little Samson. You didn't have a lot of them games. And like the Super Nintendo, they stepped up and put a lot of games on there that were expensive, a lot of games that were hard to find if you're a collector. So what I'm going to do is I am going to still keep my pre-order. I said that. I'll let you guys know at the end. I'm still keeping my pre-order, and it's not that I'm a Sony tard. Actually, hang on a second, guys. Ready? It's not that I'm a Sony tard, or I'm a Sony pony, or a bandwagon, because I bought the classics, NES and Super NES. I'm a collector, and I have been since a long, long time. I mean, I got every console except for, I think, the 5800 and the Saturn and the Atari Jaguar are like my three consoles that I really don't have, excluding the Odyssey 2 and Commodore 64 and stuff like that, and television. I don't have all them either. But as far as them go, them are the only consoles that I've never owned. When I look at these things, I think to myself, listen, guys, like I said, I've been jumping back and forth, but I want to really get this into you guys. Those of you that have a PC, that have an Xbox One controller, that have an Xbox or a PlayStation 4 controller, whatever, a mouse, keyboard, a third-party controller. If you guys, I made a video on YouTube where I was being smartass. I hashtag smartass. And I just said, for people that are bitching that they didn't get their game on there, just remember, I have my PlayStation 1 Classic, and I recorded a video of my computer. PC, it's been emulating these games for years. If you open up a PlayStation Classic or an NES Classic or a Super NES Classic, a lot of it is called a Raspberry Pi. You can buy these things for like $35 on Amazon. You can buy a lot of these things on Amazon. So if you guys are wanting to look at that, I can leave a link down in the description. Just know that link is an Amazon affiliate link. So if you do decide to click on there and buy that, or buy anything else, just know that you are supporting the channel, and I do appreciate that. So I will leave the link if you guys want to go check out a Raspberry Pi. Some of you may not know what it is. Some of you may know what it is and didn't realize, oh my God, I could just do this and put a shell on it. So if you have a 3D printer as well, you can just print a PlayStation Classic clone or an NES clone like all the other third-party people did when they were trying to get hot and get money on this as well. So if you want to just emulate, I'm sure there'll be emulators out there. You can put whatever game you want on it. And for the people that say, oh, well, there's only so much software, or excuse me, there's only so much, memory on there. Flash memory is what you call it. Well, there's things you can buy that hook up to it. And you can hook up to it, and it also has another port to where you can hook a USB stick to it and hook it into the power slot and everything like that. So them will be on there as well. I'll leave a link to that as well if you guys want to go and purchase that. If you guys are wanting to update, because the Super NES didn't have as much flash memory. So what you would have to do is plug in the power port, and then it came with an extra USB part. So you would plug the power with the USB into your monitor or into a wall plug or whatever, and then the other USB you would hook up a flash drive to it, preferably 2 to 4 gig. and you could just put every game on there on the Super NES if you wanted to. That's what I did. But I'll leave a link to the Amazon if you guys want to check that out as well. But that's all it is, guys. And I jump back and forth between console gaming and PC gaming, and I say the good things and the bad things. And yes, I'm talking about the PlayStation 1. You guys say, man, my God, you're going on and on and on. I mean, to not beat around the bush, if you don't want to buy it for $100 and you have a PC, emulate it. Emulate every game you want. Download the emulators and put all that shit on there, and you'll have every game. It's been like that since like the early 2000s, if you have a decent PC. Nowadays, everybody has the PCs to run all that stuff, so just emulate it. But to finish, guys, what I was talking about in this game, to finish what I was trying to say is, in the PlayStation, you guys will obviously get, like I said, 2 controllers and them 20 games. If you want to buy the Japanese version, you can as well. But I want to know, guys, down in the comments what you guys are wanting to do. What you guys are going to... Are you going to keep your pre-order? Are you going to cancel your pre-order? Are you guys going to buy the Japan version? Are you guys going to emulate it and do a Raspberry Pi? Or are you guys going to just mod it when it comes and just add all that stuff on to it later? Let me know down in the comments, guys. And as always, this is Game Over 86. I love you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you Wednesday and back Friday for more videos. Game Over 86. I hope this helped too, guys. I hope this, you guys understand all this stuff. I love you very much. Do a good deed. Take care of one another. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.